My Weird School Days, Book Number 10. Miss Mary is Scary. Written by Dan Gutman. Pictures by Jim Pelot. Chapter 4. Bog Snorkeling and Cheese Rolling. After Mr. Klutz left, Zach came out of the cloakroom. "Thanks, dude," he told Mr. Granite. "If old man Klutz finds out I'm here with Mary, he'll have me bloody head." "I don't see any blood on your head," I told Zach. "People in England say the word bloody all the time, Arlo," Andrea told me. "Zach just means that Mr. Klutz will be angry if he finds him here with Miss Mary." "That's sure a weird way to say it." "I thought people in England were always saying, 'Chip, chip, cheerio, old chap,'" said Michael. "I saw that in a movie." "Nobody ever says chip, chip, cheerio," said Miss Mary. "I guess we have a lot to learn about England," said Mr. Granite. "Does everybody in England dress like you two?" asked Ryan. "Or are those your Halloween costumes?" "This is how I always dress," said Zach. "My favorite color is black." "Mine too," said Miss Mary. "I love black spiders and insects. They're my friends. Back home I have a black bat named Roger." "Miss Mary is scary." "Black isn't even a color," said Neil, who we call the nude kid even though he wears clothes. "How did your pants get ripped like that?" asked Emily. "Did you get caught climbing a fence?" "Oh no, I used a pair of scissors," said Miss Mary. "Don't my pants look fierce?" "I could darn them for you," Andrea told her. "I took a sewing class after school last year." "No thanks," said Zach and Miss Mary. "Maybe you'd like to tell the children a little bit about what life is like in England," suggested Mr. Granite. We all crowded around Miss Mary and Zach. "Well, my friends and I really love to go bog snorkeling," Zach said. "Bog snorkeling?" asked Neil. "What's that?" "It's when you snorkel through a bog," Zach told us. "My friends and I love cheese rolling," said Miss Mary. "Let me guess," I said. "You roll cheese?" "Yes," said Miss Mary. "It happens on the spring bank holiday. The cheese roller will roll around cheese down a hill and we all chase it. The winner is the first person to grab the cheese." "It sounds very dangerous," said Andrea. "Oh, it is," said Miss Mary. "One time I got a bloody nose." "But your nose wasn't really bloody, right?" I asked. "You just say the word bloody all the time." "No, my nose really was bloody," Miss Mary said. "Of course it was bloody, Arlo," Andrea told me. "I guess if it wasn't bloody, Miss Mary would have just gotten a nose, and that wouldn't make any sense. You can't get a nose. Everybody already has a nose." I was confused. "Hey, I got a split, man," said Zach. "I'm working on a new song with my band, Fish Food." "Ooh, What's the song called? Asked Emily. It's called I Love Dirt, Zach replied. What? Who writes songs about dirt? Zach climbed out the window and left. People from England are weird. Chapter 5. Learning more about England. The next morning, Halloween decorations were up in the hallways. I came into class and hung my coat in the cloakroom. Miss Mary was sitting in the back of the class. We usually have word of the day first thing in the morning, but Mr. Granite said we could skip it so we could do the math lesson we missed the day before. Open your math books to page 23, Mr. Granite told us, but suddenly he stopped, looked at Miss Mary, and asked, What are you doing? We all looked at Miss Mary. She was holding her cell phone. I'm texting Zach, she said. He just told me I Love Dirt is going to be the best song he ever wrote, and he's dedicating it to me. I can't wait to hear it. That's so romantic, said Andrea. Turn off your cell phone in school, please, said Mr. Granite. He looked all frustrated. That's when an announcement came over the loudspeaker. Mr. Granite, please come to the office. Another interruption, he said. We may never get to math. Miss Mary, will you take over the class while I'm gone? He went rushing out of the room. We all looked at Miss Mary. So, what do you want to learn? She asked. We don't want to learn anything, I told her. We want to go to recess. It's not time for recess, Arlo, Andrea said, rolling her eyes. I can teach you how to play cricket, said Miss Mary. You play with crickets? I said. That's disgusting. Cricket is a game, Arlo, Andrea said, rolling her eyes again. They play it in England. Your face is a game, I told her. Can you show us where England is on the map? Asked Emily. Sure, Miss Mary said, going to the map on the wall. Let's see, where is that bloody country? The country is bloody? I asked. Miss Mary looked all over, but she couldn't find England, and it's her own country. She's almost as dumb as the teacher we had last year, Miss Daisy. I'll show you, said Andrea as she hopped out of her seat and pointed at the map. It's right here. England looks like a little microscope. See? Very good, Andrea, said Miss Mary. Little Miss Mardy Pants smiled her know-it-all smile. Why can't a microscope fall on her head? What do people eat in England? Asked Ryan, who will eat anything, even stuff that isn't food. I love blood pudding, said Miss Mary. You make pudding out of blood? I asked. Ew! Everybody went. Blood pudding is a kind of sausage, said Miss Mary. You should just call it sausage, said Michael. I also love fish and chips, Miss Mary said, and bangers and mash. Bangers? Neil asked. What's a banger? That's a kind of sausage, too, Miss Mary told us. Why don't you just call sausage sausage? I suggested. People sure eat a lot of sausage in England, Andrea said. Well, what do you Americans like to eat? Asked Miss Mary. I like hot dogs, said Michael. You heat up dogs and eat them? Asked Miss Mary. How horrid! In England, dogs are our pets. We would never eat them. No, I told her. We don't eat dogs here either. A hot dog is sort of like a sausage. Then why don't you call it a sausage? Asked Miss Mary. Beats me, I said. I guess everybody likes sausage, said Ryan, but nobody wants to call it sausage. Say, can I tell you kids a secret? Asked Miss Mary. Yeah, we all shouted. We love secrets, Andrea said. Promise you won't tell? Asked Miss Mary. We promise. I don't really want to be a teacher, Miss Mary whispered. I want to go on tour with Zach and his band. But don't tell Daddy. He'll be so disappointed. We won't tell, we all promised. I couldn't blame Miss Mary for not wanting to be a teacher. Who would want to go to school for the rest of your life? When I grow up, I'm not going anywhere near a school. Suddenly, the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. Zach climbed in the window. Zach, Mary. They started smooching. Disgusting. Can I hear your song, I Love Dirt? Miss Mary asked. Not yet, Zach replied. It's not finished. But I want to hear it now. Soon, sweetie, soon. Boo-hoo. Miss Mary started crying. Her black eye makeup was running down her face. Suddenly, there were footsteps in the hall. It might be Mr. Klutz, yelled Neil the nude kid. Hide, Zach, Ryan shouted. Where? In the bloody cloakroom, said Michael. There's blood in the cloakroom? I asked. Zach ran into the cloakroom. As it turned out, the footsteps weren't Mr. Klutz's at all. It was Mr. Klutz, back from the office. You can come out, Zach, Miss Mary said. Zach came out of the cloakroom. What are you doing here again? Mr. Granite asked. I was worried about Mary, Zach told him. She wasn't answering her cell phone. He made me turn it off, Mary explained. I'm glad you're okay. Look, I gotta get back to work, Zach said. The song is almost done. Maybe now I can finally teach some math around here, said Mr. Granite. Bye, Zach, said Miss Mary. Later, Zach said as he climbed out the window. So what did you learn while I was gone? Mr. Granite asked us. We learned that in England they play with crickets, I told him, and they make pudding out of blood. Chapter 6. Vampires are cute. Mr. Granite didn't have the chance to teach his math lesson because it was time for lunch. We walked single file to the vomitorium. Neil the nude kid was the line leader. I sat with the guys and we were talking about Halloween. We were all going as superheroes. I would be Batman. Ryan would be Superman. Michael would be Spider-Man. Neil would be the Invisible Man. Who do you think would win in a fight? Michael asked. Superman or Batman? Superman would win, said Ryan. He could burn Batman up with his heat vision in a second. No way, I told him. Batman would pull out a little mirror and the heat vision would bounce back and burn Superman alive. Superman is invulnerable to heat, Ryan told me. Not if it comes from his own eyes, I insisted. It would kill him. Would not. Would too. We went back and forth like that for a while. Andrea and her girly friends were at the next table, listening to our important discussion. Boys are dumbheads, said Andrea. Oh yeah? I said. What are you dressing up as for Halloween? Beach blanket Barbie? No, Andrea replied. I'm going as Steven Spielberg. What? Who's Steven Spielberg? Asked Neil the nude kid. He's a famous movie director, Andrea told us. I take a movie-making class after school. My parents even let me use their video camera so I can make my own movies. We're going to put them on YouTube. You should make a movie about Miss Mary, said Michael. It could be a horror movie. Yeah, Neil said. She looks like a vampire. Maybe she really is a vampire, I whispered to everybody. Did you ever think of that? She dresses all in black. She wears black makeup. She's got a pet bat. She even eats blood pudding. Wow, said Ryan. I think you might be right, AJ. Stop trying to scare Emily, Andrea told me. I'm scared, said Emily, looking all worried. Miss Mary probably lives in a cave and sleeps hanging upside down from the ceiling, I said. Then she goes out at night and bites people on the neck and drinks their blood. We've got to do something, Emily yelled, and then she went running out of the room. Sheesh, get a grip. That girl is such a crybaby. I like vampires, Andrea said. I saw this movie about a vampire. He was really handsome, and all the girls fell in love with him. He looked a little like Zach. Why would girls fall in love with the guy who bites them on the neck and drinks their blood? I asked. Because he's cute, Andrea said, like Zach. You think Zach is cute? I snorted. Arlo, I think you're jealous, said Andrea, all smiley. My face started to feel warm. I am not jealous, I told her. If you ask me, Zach looks more like a zombie than a vampire anyway. Ooh, Ryan said. AJ is jealous because Andrea thinks Zach is cute. He must be in love with her. When are you gonna get married? Asked Michael. If those guys weren't my best friends, I would hate them.